Sampling's been a key part of what we've done with our platform. Within the industry, it's been a huge focus of customer acquisition and what's that customer journey. And sampling's been a part of direct sales forever. We don't say we invented sampling, but we talk about how we didn't invent it, but we perfected it. And we feel that the combination of our technology and what we do has really brought it a long way. So, Cord, why don't you start off? I know you and I worked with a client that we had an interesting experience where they were debating whether to do samples. Some of their execs wanted to, some didn't. Maybe tell that story, because I think it's interesting for our viewers or listeners to hear about this company's dilemma on if they wanted to sample or not, and how it ended up being a huge success for them.
Yeah. So we, like you mentioned, we approached them about the sampling and we're in discussions about it. And a couple of their team just were kind of skeptical. I think they'd had experience with some sampling system before and just, it hadn't gone well. But we know the power of sampling and understand that there is truly a power in letting someone, try before they buy. We say that a lot. But then it's not just being able to try the product. It's all of these other things, the follow-up, the automated emails, notifications the user can that will receive, the education they're getting in the sample, and how easy it is. It's all automated and very professional. Anyway, so as we got in discussions, we went to their offices to meet, and kind of funny, walked in and one of their distributors was there in the office, and this gal was at the table putting together a sample. She had a little Ziploc baggie and some product in there, and a little kind of hand done brochure or whatever, and it was kind of just a funny moment of hey, whether you think your people are needing sampling or want to sample, they're doing it, whether you're providing it for them or not.
We got into this lady to go in before us, right? Because it was
they go on in there. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but but it kind of helped drive home the point. Anyway, so we ended up doing kind of a beta test with their group. We developed out the sampling system. They tested for roughly a month and gave it to about 50 of their field leaders. And over that time, they sent out roughly 300 samples. And as we collected the data after, they saw a 16% conversion rate. So 16% conversions of purchases and enrollments, which was fantastic. They were super happy with that and super impressed. And that just, it demonstrated the power of sampling, and they understood. And from that point on, they were all in, fully committed to it. We've been doing the sampling now with them for over 2 years now, and the results they've seen, again, very happy. They report all the time the success their people are having. We see the conversions and just the revenues generated through this sampling system for their people.
Yeah, it can be a big win. And for me, it's been a fun part to see that with the companies that we've worked with. They do it differently, and they have different things here or there that they tweak. But at the end of the day, we can really see some great successes. And Adam, you've worked with dozens of companies on our platform, with their sample programs, and talked to tons of distributors, leaders, corporate execs. What are some of the best practices that you can share that we've found with sampling that can make it be a success?
First and foremost, it's going to be the culture around it, how the client or how the company treats sampling. We have some that will sign on for sampling and then not really utilize it and not put a lot of anything behind it. But the ones that build a culture around sampling, especially you think of, onboarding new enrollments and new customers, the easiest way to do that is through a sample. Me as a new distributor, I probably can't talk very well to the comp plan. I probably can't talk to the science of the products. What I can do is give a sample to someone and say, you got to try this. It's been great for me. I love it. Tell me what you think. And when we talk about sampling, a lot of people I think are under the impression that it's just handing out a sample of a product, but it's so much more than that. The follow-up, the email drips, and the education that's sent after the fact. It's a process
along the way, right?
Right.
You can have you're coaching the prospect who gets the sample, but you can also help the brand new person who may not know how to follow up. And we give them tips on, hey, go say this to the person who shared the sample,
Exactly.
really get some of those things in there as well.
Exactly. You know, it makes it seamless. And I like to think too, you know, you say we didn't invent sampling, we perfected it. And I think back to, you know, some of the early days of our samples where it wasn't perfected right out of the gates. You know, we had to work through and figure out this program. And it's been years of development and, you know, figuring out, switching, adapting to really make it work. I think of the early samples and you know, how far we've come, and really with the whole digital strategy now of the follow-up, of the drips, of the notifications, and the fact that, you know, I can now manage anyone. I could send 100 samples to 100 different people, and I can manage those contacts and what I've done with them and all the history of communication with them through my phone. So, you know, it's come a long way, and it's a testament to, you know, that innovate or die. The samples, hey, they've been around for a long time, but how we do them, how we use them now, how we send them is you know, high tech. So
no, and it's that combination of high tech and high touch, right? And that goes back to the principle we started on, right? This isn't a silver bullet, the technology, you push a button and it does the whole thing, right? Where we have a bunch of clients that they'll sell 10 packs of the samples, right? Or they'll include a 10-pack in an enrollment kit, or they'll launch a product, and you can hand it out in person, you can send it through the app, you can have credits. And, you know, it's interesting to see that combination. The most successful companies that we work with, they have a hybrid approach where I'm handing it out in person to the people I see at the gym, at my kids' school, at athletic events. And then I go into the app and I still use the technology. I'm sending the follow-up drips. I'm being coached along the way. And, you know, you guys work closely with a lot of companies to help them do this. And whether it's, you know, those 10 packs that they're selling in the back office or in their kits, or making sure that it's in the app, it truly is. Sampling is the true combination of physical and digital. And the best part for me is it doesn't remove that relationship aspect. You talked about this being the relationship industry, where this business will always be built belly to belly, kneecap to kneecap. And the app and sampling make that happen, because you still have that personal interaction, that follow-up. But the person who doesn't know what to say, well, great, that email is going to go out. You're going to get notified when they get it, when they click on the link, when they buy. So really powerful way to do that.